Welcome to God Power Live with Naima, where Black women gods come to connect with their likeness, refine their emotions so we can do what we came here. I'm here for a quick 15 minutes every weekday at 8 a.m. Pacific here on Facebook and here on TikTok. Hello, TikTok. Good morning, Survival. I will go back and forth between the two depending on what's happening. TikTok, I can immediately see what's going on. It's right here on my screen. TikTok, on Facebook, I gotta click and all of that. But if you're seeing me on Facebook, you can comment while I'm here or notification. And if I see it, I will click on it in time, right? In time, right? Because it doesn't always show me immediately. So keep that in mind. Today's topic is my selfish desires for Black women gods. Today's topic is my selfish desires for Black women gods. So I'm the founder of the Academy for Womanhood. My company is here to liberate women worldwide, and we're focusing on Black women gods for now. And I like to talk in a way that I seem to be the only person who knows and who's out talking about it publicly. Now, there may be others who, have some insight, some aware, right? But I don't know anybody who's talking about it. I don't know anybody who's has it as their life's work, okay, and has it possessed by it. I'm very possessed by this, okay. And my experience talking with, being a Black woman, being in conversation with a variety of people, Black men and women, living in different parts of the world, and just looking around at how people are living. Because regardless of what we say, regardless of what we think, and who we are, our behavior and where we invest really tells us who we are. Like how we construct our lives, what really determines our decision making, where we invest our time, our money, what really strokes us as far as what direction we take in life. And what I know is there's a profundity in those of us who are born of a raw consciousness system that is, ooh, here that thing is happening again where putting language to it feels like a disrespect, like words could never capture. There's an attempt, right? But words can never capture. So let me talk about it differently. Um, my selfish desire is that my company becomes the comfort space where those of us who have always been different, because we're born of this raw consciousness system, where we can shed all of the blackness. We can shed all of the meaning that we have taken on over the years. We can shed all of the ideas about who we felt like we were supposed to be loved and accepted and to be able to succeed and get resources and to belong, where we can shed all that. And we shed it because we're so comfortable, we're so safe that the home is so customized for us. Okay, that the home is so customized for us that we know we can be true. Because when we don't feel safe, and I'm going to define safety here because I think there's a lot of the society just, anyway. Yeah, when you feel truly safe, like where you really, your whole nervous system, your soul, your deep unconscious self, your inner and outer, the whole of you knows that this is your home, right? That the parts of you that you are aware of and the parts of you that you are not aware of feel safe to come out. How many people actually have that in their lives? Very few, very few. Even people who are in what they call good marriages. I was in a good marriage, and my husband didn't know who I was. Okay. It's a lot of women who are married to good men, right? The societal definition of good men, meaning like he provides and protects. That doesn't mean he knows her, you see, and the way that the woman needs to be known and the way she needs to be met, women like us, to really come out and be deeply fulfilled because we're possessed since birth with this calling that we repressed and have created hell as a result. So, my selfish desire is that the home, the community, the space that's created here at the Academy for Womanhood is so true. It's so pure. It's so raw. It's so that all of us gets to sink into who we are, because most of us, we may have had fleeting moments and we have a deep felt sense, but it's not out in the world. There's a gap that's like it's down up in there. And then there's the us out here that's watching this video. It's the us out here that's dealing with the kids, that's ordering food on DoorDash, that's going to get the groceries, that's taking a shower. There's the us, but then the cooperation between the two that allows us to then come out into the world and do the thing that we call a career. Okay, we call it a career, and it is a career. But deep underneath is really the fulfillment of our whole selves. We just channel it through a career, and it can be channeled a multitude of ways. Okay, we channel it out and we call it a career. Okay, and so, or a part-time gig or whatever you call it. And so, my selfish desire is that this becomes the safe home, because people who come over here to get serviced by my company may not even see it that way. They see it as, I want to get free, or I want to write my book, or I want to, lose this weight. I want to, like, they have these markers for success, right? That's what they're saying, and it's fine, right? What I know, because I know what I know, is that we are not being who we really are out here. And we're not being who we really are because we don't have the environment to cultivate. If you're in an environment where you're unwelcome, and a person, nobody is actually saying you're not welcome. Nobody's actually saying that to you. They're not saying you're not welcome. They're not saying shut your mouth. They're not saying I don't like you. You get the signal in different ways. You don't get invited. You just sort of feel that this thing is not okay. We are high vibrational beings, very naturally. We sense things. You know when you can't say that to that person. I had a woman message me and say, just by looking at you, listening to you, I could tell that I could talk to you about anything. That's that deep felt sense. We know when we can't open up about things. So that's how we get the message that all of who you are is not welcome in this relationship. All of who you are is not welcome in this house. All of who you are is not welcome at this job. All of who you are is not welcome around here. And then you'll get direct or subtle praise. Thank you for the hearts. You'll get direct or subtle praise for being what that person approves of, whether it's the employer, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, wherever, some club you're a part of. When you behave and you are in a way that's acceptable by that person or group. Okay. So, when I say that purification is dirty work, okay, and let me define, I said I was going to define what safety is, because we really need to, well, let me speak for this community over here. Most people, what they're not saying when they say a safe community is, I need you, whoever's the facilitator and whoever are the people in this community. What they're not saying is, I need everyone here. Hello, goddess. Tell me what makes so much sense. I'd love to hear. What they're not saying and what they mean when they say, I'm looking for a safe space, is they want to make sure everybody who's here behaves in a way that they can stay where they are emotionally. Like, don't do anything outside of what I expect here. They don't say that, but it's implied unconsciously. And when they say, I'm looking for a safe space, because if something arises in the space that they don't like, or that calls them outside of whatever they're living, their system, how they think and see, and it feels like confrontational. And the truth is, when you start really purifying yourself and you really start truth telling with yourself, by yourself, it is highly confrontational to you. You could be in your room by yourself asking yourself questions about your decision making in life, how you got to where you are, etc. And when you start telling the truth, it will feel very confrontational. When it happens in a room and somebody asks you a question that goes against this belief system that you hold so great, like if I really believe that I'm a good person, here's an example. If I really believe that I'm a good person, and I have this, let's say I have a daughter, and I have this rule for my daughter, this standard for my daughter, whatever, that is based on what I think she should be as a growing woman, right? And another woman says to me, she asked me a question, well, don't you think expecting that of your daughter makes you selfish? Or do you think that maybe you should give your daughter more room to become? And you feel confronted by that, you could easily be like, see, I don't feel safe in this room. I'm not feeling safe. This is not a safe space. And then you get on the internet talking about they ain't safe over there. Uh, Purification is dirty work. Okay. So when I say purification is dirty work, I mean, I don't mean this, this purity that people talk about out here where all is good all the time. Now, there's a whole other substantive way of everything is good all the time because the bounty of life, right? If you want to go to that level of conversation, I don't mean that in this context. I mean where we are all good as long as nobody tells the truth about anything in this room. As long as you don't ask any questions that cause me to think about my decisions and how I'm being, all is good. I like you as long as you stay the way I want you to stay. We can be friends as long as you are the way I want you to be. As long as your choices don't challenge anything about my belief system, we're all good. We can be friends. I like you. You're safe. You my sis. We're friends. You're invited to my parties. Yeah. And when you start to truly purify, which means everything that's in you that's unconscious to you, that's causing you to create patterns you hate, that's causing you to create your own hell, your own financial hell, your own hell of the people in your life, just how you feel about yourself because you know that you're hiding. When all of that is happening and you need to really go deep, you go into a dark place. And that dark place is dirty, okay? And it's yours. It's all yours. So, this is what I mean when I say purification is dirty work. Now, most of us don't have environments where we are welcome, where our filth is welcome. Yeah. When we are gathering as Black women gods, no matter where we're gathering, we could be going on a beautiful retreat in Mexico. We could be meeting at a lovely event in Milan, Italy. We could be meeting at my home. We could be meeting at a coffee shop. When we meet, all of our filth along with our hearts are gathering. So when it's time for us to purify, the space needs to be permissive of all of who we are. So when this woman, her, me, you, wants to bring forth a part of us that we know is, let's say, an enemy to ourselves, an enemy to our development, an enemy to our ability to lead. It was because you can't lead nobody else, because you can't lead yourself, because you actually don't like yourself. That's an enemy to you. If you don't have a place where you can develop that over time, because it's not something that just happens in a mentoring session. It's not something that just happens one time because you had a chance to cry it out and talk through it and see it. It happens over time where you get a chance to look at your pattern come into your face again and you dissolve it month after month, week after week, however long it takes to dissolve it so you come back into the wholeness of who you are. My selfish desire is that this is the home for that. My company. When you come into Black Women Gods Gather in Miami, in Atlanta, in London, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, in Sacramento, in Houston, overseas, wherever we are, that your whole soul, your whole system knows that this is the place where you come to get dirty so you can get clean. You understand? This is what I don't see any. Listen, this is pioneering work. Black people are not talking about this online. The typical Black conversations, never mind. Listen, see, not even interested. So my selfish desire is that while you may come over here because you think you want to, I don't know, make more money, lose weight, be free, you know, that whole generic thing about be free, what that even means to most of us, okay? And I'm going to come over here in a moment and look at comments. My selfish desires, you may not even be thinking about this, but my selfish desire is that we actually come over here and develop, that we are a mess with each other, that we are true with each other, that we laugh till our stomach hurt, till our jaws hurt, that we can admit how ugly we are in the presence of each other, that we can tell the truth about ourselves in front of each other. And in that, the nourishment we need, the dissolution we need, the restoration we need, the powering up and the fueling up that we need to come out here and deal with the ridiculousness of the world, to come out here and really stand in your vision with conviction, to really come out here and say what you need to say on camera. Because this hyper consumption that we have with online, and scared to death of other people because we scared of our own selves, scared of being seen, not telling the truth, running and hiding, creating our own hell. Yeah, it's because you've never confronted yourself, darling. And I've said this so many times over the last 2 years, that the rubber meets the road when you are witnessed. This is why the preacher says, can I get a witness? It's like the cementing and the crystallization happens when you get witnessed in it. You get witnessed in your mess. This woman is witnessing you. She's not judging you. You don't feel like you got to watch your words because is she going to understand what I'm saying? Am I not going to be welcome and loved? How will I look? Like everything that starts to really happen when real purification happens, when real transformation is happening, when real coming out and coming into wholeness, where all of the parts of ourselves that we have rejected so far gets to come into our whole being, up into a light state, so we can actually move with some buoyancy and make some decisions where there's no inner friction inside, doubting, can I try, I don't know, right? Don't you want to get to the other side where you can stand in all of who you are with your mom? Yes, mom, this is who I am. This is my choice. Yes, dad. Yes, husband. Yes, sister. Yes, client. Yes, world. This is who I am. You can come along for the ride or you can go. Right? And you can really be at that from a deep place, from down from your whole, all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this. Like all of you is in it. All of you. You're not just talking, all of you. TikTok, I see you. Hey. Tuck Tech, when I'm done and I'm getting ready to close up right now, I'm gonna come over here and holla at y'all because I'm in two places at one time. Okay. By the way, TikTok, if you ever want to see the replays, because I'm here every weekday at 8 a.m. Pacific here on Facebook and TikTok. The replays are never here on TikTok. But if you want the replays, you can come over here to Facebook and watch the whole thing. Okay. Naima Singletary #1, not my personal page. A woman from TikTok came over to my personal page yesterday and I had to message her. Nope, it's not my personal page. The replays are on my business page, okay? My business page is Naima Singletary #1, okay? Naima Singletary #1. So lastly, I have a manual. It's called Own Your God Complex and Avoid Being Destroyed by Your Calling. It's free. It has the 5 signs you have a God complex, okay? You can grab it with the link in my bio, whether you're on Facebook or here on TikTok. It's really meant, one, for you to identify yourself inside of the 5 signs that you have a God complex, but also to get you to start approving of yourself. Things that may make you feel wrong and to remove and all that. It's meant to help you to approve of your full self. That. Secondly, we are already quietly behind the scenes planning for Black Women Gods Gather, and the goal is to have the first one February of next year. And it's all tentative right now. There's some things coming together to see if is it going to be in February, is it going to be in March. However, if you are an ambitious, visionary woman, ambitious God, ambitious executive, and you know that this is a place where you want to be and you want to connect offline, okay? You're ready to connect offline. These Black Women Gods Gather are where you want to be connected, okay? We're having them all over the world. We're starting in the United States, okay? There's also, with the same link in the bio where you get the manual, you can read details about Black Women Gods Gather. And if you resonate with it, obviously you can follow the instructions on the page for how to stay in touch regarding Black Women Gods Gather. Okay. So I have gone 5 minutes over time today. I'm here, remember, 15 minutes every weekday. But hey, it happened. Lots of love. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific.